The room forgets to breathe a while. The bass walks slow in a measured style. The lights hang low like patient eyes. I straighten truth, remove disguise. A match goes out but leaves its heat. The snare taps vows beneath my feet. And the night, she nods without defiance. She knows a king built out of silence. I lay my bricks on quiet ground, where thunder fades and nerves unbound. No shouting crown, no borrowed praise, just steady hands through weaker days. I learn to make the chaos store, to build a roof that will not fall. When storms arrive with cheap reliance, I answer with a house of silence. I took the road that bends through rain, let patience clean the bitter stain. I spend my pride in smaller coins and fix my spine in broken joints. The mirror bowed, the rage withdrew, and in its place the iron grew. I learned to tune the world's appliance by holding time in quiet silence. Ain't no preacher teach this art. You learn it losing half your heart. You let the hunger slow it spin. You lock the door, then breathe within. You shape the flame, you choose its height. You keep it fed but out of sight. And when the noise demands compliance, you answer with your built-in silence. So pour one for the men who never boast, who save their words for when they're most. He laughs low, unmoved by violence. He wears his power built from silence. It hums like oak, it shines like stone, a sovereign calm that stands alone. I ain't begging fate for guidance. I move the night with forced out silence. The barmaid knows when storms walk in. She sees the swagger, hears the din. She sets my glass, the room takes note. A hush slides under every throat. The organ breathes a velvet chord. The kick keeps time with no reward. A single nod, a small compliance. The whole place turns on quiet signs. I keep my laws in leather bound. No gilded edges, plain and sound. Hold back your heat, conserve your fire. Let once be tested by desire. Speak once, speak true, then let it stand. Correct your course with open hand, and never trade your soul for pence. You're worth the price of your own silence. The man in the mirror taps the frame, says, boy, you finally learned your name. It ain't the roar that gets it done. It's staying still till battle's won. No blade to wave, no stage defense, just presence, weight, and consequence. He points and smiles, a mild alliance. Your crown is carved from patient silence. A murmur climbs from jealous chance, a petty tide that swells and crests. They bait the spark, they prime the fuse. They hope I like what they can't use. I raise my hand an inch or two. The wave forgets what it should do. The snare resumes, the bass finds guidance, obedient to measured silence. Pour one for the man who reads the signs, who slows a storm with steady lines. He hums low, declines of violence. He bends the dark with built-in silence. Raise your glass to iron grace, to eyes that calm a crowded place. No throne, no law, no license, just sovereign heat and crafted silence. A single note becomes a beam, a pillar set in midnight seam. The room suspends its restless weight. The breath of doubt learns how to wait. The groove lays bricks, the reverb glows. A hallway where the wisdom goes. I press my palm to time's appliance. The walls stand up on quiet silence. I ain't holy, I ain't tame. I just retired from losing games. I spend my sparks on better nights. I let my scars become my rights. I carry storms in sealed jars. I steer by truth instead of stars. And when the world wants grand defiance, I sign my name with seasoned silence. Ain't no choir singing for the still, no trumpets for a tempered will. But watch the ride fold its wings when patient hands arrange the strings. You want the key to this appliance? It's breath and spine and quiet signs. When chaos begs for your compliance, stand tall inside your built-up silence. So pour one for the sovereign few. No trouble.
Ain't no mercy in a diamond shine, because it's deep as a bottle of time. The suit still fits, the soul does not. Every win I made came with a cost. The silence hums where the crowd once screamed. The mirror's honest, cruel and mean. In the night, she knows what I've become. I walked through rooms lined with smoking glass, shook hands with ghosts who never laughed. They smiled wide, but their eyes were cold. Each deal I made, another piece I sold. My pocket's heavy, my heart gone thin. You can't buy peace when you trade your skin. And though I sleep on silken foam, gold don't keep you warm. The table's full, but the chair feels bare. Laughter fades into empty air. Every toast just burns my throat. Every friend another note. I build my castle out of ash. Watch the years go up in cash. The taste of winning feels like storm, 'cause gold don't keep you warm. No preacher ever told this truth, that sin wears a tailored suit. The blues don't care how you climb, it waits in every glass of wine. The higher you sit, the colder the flame, the richer the lie, the sharper the pain. And when the noise fades to form, gold don't keep you warm. So pour one for the man who took it all, built his name just to watch it fall. He laughs low, still dressed in charm, but gold don't keep you warm. It shines like sin, it hums like shame. Another crown without a name. I ain't searching peace, just calm, 'cause gold don't keep you warm. I walk the halls where my echoes stay. Each step a debt I failed to pay. The walls remember what I ignore. That comfort's cheap, but soul's worth more. A voice still haunts the marble floor. She said you won, but what for? And I just stare through the golden storm. Gold don't keep you warm. The phone still rings, but I let it die. I got no truth left to justify. The parties fade, the faces change. Every cheer just feels the same. I used to think the night was kind, now she just reads my state of mind. The liquor burns where pride was born, 'cause gold don't keep you warm. The man in the mirror smirks again, says you traded love for a house of sin. He's dressed sharp, but he bleeds inside. A king with nothing left to hide. The ink on my hands won't wash away. It's a price I pay to play this way. Every promise I bent, every norm, still gold don't keep you warm. She used to hum when the rain came down. Now I just hear the city sound. The perfume lingers on the stairs. Goes too real, too unaware. I tried to pray, but I've gone too far. The blues don't answer to who you are. Each memory burns, your silence torn. Gold don't keep you warm. Pour one for the man who don't belong, whose crown weighs heavy, whose nights are long. He still hums low through the storm. Yeah, gold don't keep you warm. Raise a glass to the sins we buy, to every truth we let go by. No kingdom left to transform. Gold don't keep you warm. The blues don't fade when the lights turn down. It sleeps in silk, it wears your crown. Each note I play feels less like art, more like confession from the heart. I chase a piece I can't perform, 'cause gold don't keep you warm. And in that hush beneath the storm, gold don't keep you warm. I ain't holy, I ain't free, but I still play a minor key. If heaven's rich, I'll take the street with truth and silence always meet. My shoes are clean, my soul is not still chasing mean. And I forgot the night forgives, a day deformed. Gold don't keep you warm. Ain't no choir to sing my tune, just a hum of gold under the moon. It don't cry, it don't reform. Gold don't keep you warm. Is a lover cold and unaware? I fade, I fall, I lose my form. Gold don't keep you warm. So pour one for the hollow kind, who lost their soul but kept their shine. For the men who traded truth for charm. Yeah, gold don't keep you warm. No light, no grace, no calm. There goes playing the same old song. And if I fade, remember my form. Gold don't keep you warm. I've seen kings bang back broken lay, but just know 'cause gon' break again. I seen Novas leave the sweetest bears and damn bell reach stairs and never use the deco phone. The whole goes known that the deal we own. So there's no clone that final phone, 'cause gold don't keep you warm.
The room leans close like it wants to learn. The bass ticks slow like a measured burn. The lights go low, the noise turns thin. I press my breath and settle in. My watch taps time against my palm. A quiet storm, the weight of calm. In the night she nods, she knows this song. A crown that rests in the weight of calm. I walk that line between steel and silk, where heat runs slow like warm milk. No need to shout, no fist to show. I let my presence set the flow. My shoes draw maps on oak and grain. The snare keeps time inside my veins. A city bows without alarm to the measured weight of calm. Cufflinks flash like lightning dead, but thunder hides in how I stare. I lift a glass, the room complies. 1,000 doubts grow civilized. I choose my words like polished stones. I lay them down, they build their throne. The floorboards hum my private psalm. A kingdom built on the weight of calm. Ain't no preacher teach a steady hand. You learn by losing what you plan. You trade the roar for something deep, a pace that moves while others sleep. You let the fire dodge the bomb. You hold it close, you keep it warm. And when the storm expects you home, you answer with the weight of calm. So pour one for the man who never rushed, whose silence makes the loud ones hush. He laughs slow, he won't his song. He rules the night with weight of calm. It hums like oak, it sways like steel. A patient force the proud can feel. I ain't begging fate or charm. I move the world with the weight of calm. The band sits back to let me breathe. The organ smoke threads through my sleeve. The guitar bends like tempered wheel, a single note that holds you still. The barmaid nods, she knows this tune. When measured men light up a room. No tempest here, no cheap alarm, just a quiet weight of calm. I learned to fold my anger neat, to iron rage with controlled heat, to close my fist around the wind, to say much less and still silk and tan. I count the beats the drummer hides. I read the eyes the crowd provides. Where others run, I simply song. A wind by way to calm. The man in the mirror lifts his chin, says, boy, I see you learn to win. Not by blaze or sharpened tongue, but by the breath you hold in lung. No sword to wave, no flag to claim, just poison patience in your name. He taps the glass, confirms the charm. You're crowned by weight of calm. She enters slow with silver eyes, a question hid in her disguise. She waits to see if I will chase. I let the stillness take her face. A tilt of glass, a glance of grace. No frantic moves, no crowded space. The bass grows warm, the doubts disarm. She understands the weight of calm. Pour one for the man who reads the tide, who makes the storm itself subside. He hums low, keeps that song. He crowns the room with the weight of calm. Raise your glass to iron grace, to silent heat and steady pace. No shout, no bluff, no bomb, just sovereign weight of calm. The groove pulls tight like tailored cloth. The tempo breathes a sacred oath. Each note holds back just half a breath. A dance with danger, not with death. I set the air in measured harm, a lullaby of weight of calm. The room leans in, the doubts grow small. They fall beneath the weight of calm. I ain't holy, I ain't tame, I just refuse the frantic game. I bank my sparks in tempered steel, I spend them slow so fate can kneel. I carry storms in quieter jars, I steer by scars instead of stars. When chaos begs for open palm, I close my hand with the weight of calm. Ain't no choir singing me through, just bass and breath and follow through. No trumpet blast, no gilded bomb, just heartbeat under weight of calm. Street holds his breath like a locked safe door. Rain scrubs footprints off the floor. Neon forget the names it spelled. Windows keep the secrets they were told to well. Boots slam sore, heartbeat slow. I pass through the night like I already know. If justice came, it came without poise. No witness, no echo, no noise. I learned to move like a rumor behaves. There for a second, then nothing but waves. A hand on a knob, not a fist on a gate. I buy my time and I sell men fate. Knuckles stay clean in a city of chalk. I ride in step, not in talk. Shadows salute when the orders need. Law arrange on a silent street. There's a size to mercy, a price to prove, a way to fix leaks in a weathered roof. You plant like rain, you hit like dust, leave nothing but the scent of trust. No one sees the math I use, just exits opening where I choose. If thunder has to be employed, I send it home. No witness, no noise. Count to 4 with a borrowed breath. Fold your rage, let it rest. If truth must walk, let truth avoid the crowded steps of a noise. No witness, no noise, just the law of the room. A slow-moving verdict that never blooms. If crowns need thunder to keep their poise, they were never crowned, just noise. I sign with a nod, a race with a choice, the city learns. No witness, no noise. The door swings once, the hinge says less. A coat collects the dust it bless. Two men argue on a sheet of glass. By morning the argument doesn't pass. Not death, not fire, just the end of a thread. And not undone where fear once bled. I don't chase blood, I chase the source. Turn rivers by an inch of force. This isn't vengeance, it's maintenance paid. The difference between a cut and a blade. A saint would pray, a coward flees. I count to 4 and set men free from the debt they earn, the lies they deploy. I cancel the volume. No witness, no noise. Breathe in, let the floorboards hold. Let brass keep quiet, the snare grow old. If guilt is heavy, I'll make it a poise, balanced by absence of noise. No witness, no noise, just the law of the room. A slow-moving verdict that never blooms. If crowns need thunder to keep their poise, they were never crowns, just noise. I sign with a nod, erase with a choice, the city learns, knows. No witness, no noise. She meets me under a sleeping sign, eyes like a ledger, crossing a line. Tell me, she whispers, what silence buys. Tomorrow I answer without alibis. She touches my sleeve like a lie I kept. Finds only patience, finally wept. I show her a map where streets turn thin. Paths I've cleared for boys to begin. She says, does mercy leave a stain? I say, not if you teach it rain. I don't stack bodies, I empty the room. I lay down outcomes that don't need a tune. When danger begs for a louder voice, I close the ledger. No witness, no noise. Hold the breath, let the hour decide. Stand where the lesser kings divide. If power's real, it never employs the brittle crutch of noise. No witness, no noise, just the law of the room. A slow-moving verdict that never blooms. crowns need thunder to keep their poise. They were never crowns, just noise. I sign with a nod, erase with a choice. The city learns. No witness, no noise. Bring me the locks that break without sound. Bring me the dead that never was found. Bring me the blade that cuts like air, leaves no tear and leaves no tear. Bring me the rumor with missing feet. Watch it fail to cross this street. If justice must sing, let it hum instead. A single note in a careful head. I turn the key where the night employs a simple rule. No witness, no no. Walk, don't swear. Fix, don't flare. Count to 4. Close the door. Arrivals grand, left fingerprints thin.
The doors breathe wide like they know my name. The floor holds steady, the bass the same. The smoke draws crowns on amber stone. A hush reveals what I have grown. No banners raised, no trumpets blown. Just breath and time and bone on bone. In the night she smiled because I've shown you don't have to roar to claim your throne. I walked the length of crowded years, past ashen oath and cheaper cheers. I learned to trade the spark for coal, keep the heat and save the soul. I left the race to those who ran. I kept my pulse, refined my plan. Now rooms lean in like carved in stone to hear the reign of the quiet throne. I dropped the need to win on sight. I chose the long deliberate night. I tuned my breath to slower keys. I let my anger learn to breathe. I filed my pride until it shone. A tool, not master, flesh to bone. And in that light, the truth was known. The calmest crown is the quiet throne. Ain't no preacher sells this grace. You buy it slow, you learn your pace. You keep your word and sharpen less. You let restraint replace success. You trust the air you're standing on. You let the storm move through and gone. When noise begs blood from skin and stone, you answer with a quiet throne. So pour one for the man who doesn't chase, whose steady eyes can clear a place. He laughs low, his proof is grown. He rules the night from a quiet throne. It hums like oak, it shines like dawn. A crown you feel though nothing's drawn. I ain't pleading fate alone, I wear the weight of a quiet throne. The barmaid knows the weather here. She sets a glass and stills a fear. The snare ticks soft, the kick says stay. The organ threads a velvet way. Men measure men in restless tones. I let their thunder pass like stones. By the time the talk is flown, they're kneeling to a quiet throne.
Speak once, speak true, then let it stand. Keep warm your fire, cool your hand. Treat pride like glass, polished or spend less today. Hold something more, forgive but never lose the charge. Trust patience, scars, not racing hearts. A kingdom's not in steel alone. It's breath that builds a quiet throne. The man in the mirror tips his head, says, son, you found the path instead. It wasn't rage, it wasn't speed, it wasn't hunger dressed as need. It was the way you didn't push, the way you turned a right hush. No flags, no drums, no iron groan, just presence and a quiet throne. A murmur swells from jealous throats, a tide of sparks on cashed notes. They bait my edge to brighter leaps. They want the fire that no one keeps. I raise one palm a fraction slow. The storm forgets which way to go. The bass resumes, the doubt is flown. Obedient to the quiet throne. For the man who reads the waves, who lets the fire remain its slave. He hums low, all battles known. He bends the dark with a quiet throne. Raise a glass to iron grace, to breath that calms a crowded place. No roar, no blade, no overthrown, just sovereign heat and quiet throne. A single bend becomes a door. A room steps through and asks for more. A ribbon reaver, amber tone, turns noise to air and fear to bone. I set the groove where faith has grown. No hurry, just a tempered zone. And in that hush the crown is shown, weightless like a quiet throne. Just have learned what I'll endure. I let the chase fall off the map. I trade a sprint for patient lap. I let the past keep what it owns. I kept the lesson in my bones. I left the world its sharpened tone. I took the peace of a quiet throne. Ain't no choir singing up my name, just bass and breathing gentle flame. No trumpet calls, no gilded loan, just proof that stands when night is blown. You want the key, then stand alone and learn to need no borrowed tone. When questions rise from flesh and stone, you let them bow to the quiet throne. So pour one for the ones who chose to wait, who turned down speed and walk with fate. He laughs low, the work is done. He rules the dusk with a quiet throne. No crown to wait, no dead to own, just breathe and makes the dark a home. And when I fade, carve it on stone. I love the night and the quiet throne. The scene by kings I trumpet prop, what's the battles tis by night. The seas like matter on the beat, but hold that door is never seen. Now forgives a wanting on to keep the fire soft as snow. The whiskey burns, but it don't cleanse. I've outlived enemies, outlasted friends. The mirror grins with a borrowed face. a ghost of pride, a hollow grace. The smoke don't rise, it just abides between my truth and what hides inside. In the night she smirks, she's seen my vice, the man I'm buried twice. I buried him young with charm and fire. Thought ambition could take me higher. I wore his name like a velvet lie. Smiled to strangers, let the real one die. The crowd applauded, the world agreed, but all they saw was my disease. And though he breathed, I cut his ties. The man I buried twice. He came back slow through empty rooms and whisper smoke and unpaid tune. I heard him hum through my guitar, a voice too close, a wound too far. He said you built the dream but lost the soul. You played the part but paid the toll. I poured a drink, looked in his eyes at the man I buried twice. No preacher saved what I became, just echoes whispering my name. You can trade your youth for gold and fame, but you can't cheat loss, it's the same old game. The blues don't heal, it just implies the truth's the death the soul supplies. And when I pray I hear his sighs, a man I buried twice. So pour one for the man beneath the skin, one I killed to let me win. He laughs low, a haunting vice. Yeah, the man I buried twice. He hums my songs in shadowed rhyme, keeps my guilt in perfect time. I ain't seeking peace or paradise, just a man I buried twice. So pour one for the man beneath the skin, the one I killed to let me win. He laughs low, a haunting vice. Yeah, the man I buried twice. He hums my song, my guilt in perfect time. I ain't seeking peace or paradise, just a man I buried twice. The glass don't lie, it cracks instead. Every line's a thing I said. Each wrinkle hums a quiet sin of who I was and could have been. I tried to run, I tried to hide, but he walks with me side by side. And every silence redefines the man I buried twice. I tell the night my secret crime, that I stole my truth to buy some time. I traded love for a louder cheer, and all that's left is the man right here. He don't blame, he just observes the hollow life my pride deserves. And though I breathe, I pay the price to the man I buried twice. The man in the mirror grins and grace, says you're still me, you just decay. He don't shout, he don't curse my name. He says we're both just built from blame. He lights a smoke, says let's be clear, you're still the reason I'm still here. And as the blues repeats its advice, he smiles, the man I buried twice. He said, I watched you drown in golden fame, watched you chase pride, forget your name. I tried to warn, but you wouldn't hear. Now you're the ghost that I revere. I asked him low, can I return? He said, no flame reclaims its burn. I closed my eyes, rolled my dice with the man I buried twice. Pour one for the man who lost his soul, who paid his dues but not his toll. He still hums low through fire and ice. Yeah, the man I buried twice. Raise your glass to the ones who fall, to the proud who built their own downfall. No redemption, just advice from the man I buried twice. The smoke curls high, the truth unfolds. The blues don't age, it just grows old. Each note I bend bleeds something true of who I was, of who I knew. The room falls still, the air precise. It echoes, the man I buried twice. And in that hush, no faith, no lie, it's just the man I buried twice. I ain't holy, I ain't right, but I made peace with endless night. He stands beside me, calm and plain, the shadow that carries my refrain. He hums the truth through every line that I can't reclaim. What once was mine, still I toast beneath these skies. The man I buried twice. Deep minor dawn on a water skin. Mist writes cursive where banks begin. Gravel listen, reeds lean slow, piano of droplets counting go. I touch the rail and feel time run. This river moves but forgets no one. I've walked beside this faithful vein, through winter glass and summer rain. It kept my secret, learned my stride, filed my anger, gentle pride. I threw a stone when I was young, a vow that bent a stubborn tongue. The circles widened, found there's some there singing still the river's drum. I thought I left those echoes then, but water keeps what shapes a man. Count to 4 with the ribs, not pride. Let breathe be the long clear guide. If memory begs for a brighter gun, point to the current, it forgets no one. The river forgets no one. It carries, doesn't erase. It smooths the names we called and leaves them in their place. No judgment in its running, no scoreboard in its run. It holds the world in motion. The river forgets no one. Folds a letter thin, drop drops it in like a trusted hymn. Fence still holds her script, confess. The water tucks it to its chest. Two kids throw sticks and count to 4. Each choice chooses its farther shore. They cheer for the one that learns to bend. They watch the stubborn sinking end. I nod like maps that finally know you move by yielding more than go. What couldn't listen came undone, but mercy swam. It drowned no one. Breathe on 4, let strings lean low. Let piano leave space where meanings grow. If pride returns with a hurried tongue, set it to water. It forgives no one. The river forgets no one. It carries, doesn't erase. It smooths the names we carved and leaves them in their place. No judgment in its running, no scoreboard in its run. It holds the world in motion. The river forgets no one. I kept a drawer of unmailed lines, apologies stitched to winter vines. I read them here and tear them slow, like petals training grief to grow. The pages drift and soften bits, become a school of tender wits. A carp turns once, a heron bows. The river signs the gentler vows. It doesn't lift me out of pain, it teaches names for honest rain. I learned to stand where truths are spun, not to be spotless, just become. Count to 4 till the heart stands sure. Let quiet be strong and good be pure. If thunder begs for a borrowed gun, show it these banks, they shoot no one. The river forgets no one. It carries, doesn't erase. It smooths the names we carved and leaves them in their place. No judgment in its running, no scoreboard in its run. It holds the world in motion. The river forgets no one. Bring me the locks I forced for show. I'll oil them now and let them go. Bring me the names I said too hard, I'll speak them soft in the backyard. Bring me the miles I sprinted thin, I'll walk them back with broader skin. Let finger pick guitar bend once, then rest, let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory wants a neon sun, feed it bread by the river's run. Because power without kindness is only one, and rivers keep the ledger. They forget no one. Say less, stand plain, count to 4, remain. Across the bend, a factory wall, rust and ivy equal draw. The river eats the iron's pride, turns red to brown, then lets it slide. Even the worst it learns to lift, not to pretend but give it drift. A bottle note inside my hand, a boy's small script, a future plan. I'll learn to fix, I'll learn to stay, I'll make the doors behave this way. I seal it back and trust the run, some other shore will meet that sun. Hold that 4, let rim click, pray, let mercy sign the day. If history asks what we've become, point at the water, it forgets no one. The river forgets no one. It carries, doesn't erase. It smooths the names we carved and leaves them in their place. No judgment in its running, no scoreboard in its run. It holds holds the world in motion. A river, it forgets no one. The river forgets no one. It carries us in a race, riding in reeds and walking stones, in bridges strong and humbler homes. No brightest crown, no loud enthroned, just breathe and bread and labor grown. If I am gone and daylight runs, remember how the water hums. Window open to a D-minor sky. Curtains slow dance with a faithful sigh. Kettle forgets to sing on time. Room holds still like a patient rhyme. I sit with nothing under my teeth and hear the place where silence learns to breathe. I used to fear the soundless floor, rush my soul through every door, fill the quiet with pilot lights, kept alarms to warm my nights. But clocks get tired of saving face, and thunder stumbles out of place. The day I put my armor down, the room exhaled without a sound. A chair said stay, the lamp said live, the sink said wash what you can't forgive. I listened soft to the air beneath the gentle ride, where silence learns to breathe. Count to 4 with the ribs, not pride. Let breathe be the long, clear guide. If memory knocks with a harsher wreath, open the door where silence learns to breathe. Where silence learns to breathe. It isn't empty, it's alive. It keeps a pulse you hardly see. It helps your better names arrive. No neon crown, no crowded creed, just steady light, where silence learns to breathe. Street hums low like a kindly drum. A moth writes cursive on the sun. The calendar loses all its teeth. Every task finds gentler sheathed. I pour the coffee slower now. Let steam translate a quieter vow. A neighbor waves with a mended sleeve, says fence holds better if you leave. A little room for wood to swell. I nod, my heart has learned the spell. Give distance space, give sorrow sheep. You'll hear it change when silence learns to breathe. Breathe on full, let strings lean low. Let piano leave space where meanings grow. If pride returns with a frantic plea, point at the chair, sit down, just be. Where silence learns to breathe. It isn't empty, it's alive. It keeps a pulse you hardly see. It helps your better names arrive. No neon crown, no crowded creed, just steady light, where silence learns to breathe. I keep a drawer of unmailed lines, apologies stitched to winter vines. Some I sand with softer ink, some I shell so time can think. The mirror does a kinder job, leaves out the blade, keeps in the saw. I set my jaw to rest, not roll. Let mercy take the sharper tool.
The house remembers how I've grown, teaches me rooms I thought I owned. They own me back with quiet teeth, they choose the pace, where silence learns to breathe. Count to 4 till the heart stands sure. Let quiet be strong and good be pure. If thunder begs for headline read, turn off the page, let silence learns to breathe. Where silence learns to breathe, it isn't empty, it's alive. It keeps a pulse you hardly see, it helps your better names arrive. No neon crown, no crowded creed, just steady light, where silence learns to breathe. Bring me the locks I forced for show, I'll oil them now and let them go. Bring me the names I said too hard, I'll speak them soft in the backyard. Bring me the steps I marched in vain, I'll walk them home in evening rain. Let guitar bend once and rest, let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory wants a brighter sheet, I'll feed it bread, where silence breathes. Say less, stand plain, count to 4, remain. A widow waters her porch fern slow, hums a hymn the old bells know. We trade a nod across the street, a treaty sealed without a sheet. No sermon, no heroic claim, just breathe that spells a truer name. The dog lies down between our feet, the day grows soft, the hours sweet. I learned to love the quiet's teeth, how gentle bites teach lungs to breathe. Hold that fall, let the rim click fade, let mercy harvest what time has made. If history calls with a restless wreath, answer with work and cleaner breath, where silence learns to breathe. It isn't empty, it is alive. It keeps a pulse you hardly see, it helps your better names arrive. No neon crown, no crowded creed, just steady light, where silence learns to breathe. Night puts amber on the kitchen tile, kettle takes its time a while. I close the door of unmarried. Lamp hangs low like a moon in chains, dust rides halos over wood grain veins. I pull out the chair that remembers my weight, lay down a ledger and a patient fate. Trumpet far off, rain near the panes. Tonight we dine with a table of names. Old cold secrets a church won't keep, grooves like scars where the vows ran deep. There's coffee rings shaped like unclosed loops, cigarette constellations of old truths. Some names shine like a clean brass rail, some look back with a county jail pale. I trace with a finger the ones who stayed, the ones who folded, the debts I paid. A city is made of the hands that lift, a mercy in pockets, a careful drift. I didn't build empires with a marching band, I built them slow with a quieter hand. The bass underfoot hums low and claims, power remembers at the table of names.
Count to 4 before you speak. Let the snare write low on cheek. Ink may fade and ash may stain, but a kept old never leaves the grain. Raise a glass to the table of names, to brothers of light and sisters of flames, to the ones who ran and the ones who came, to the lost and the loyal who bled the same. If crowns are heavy and glory remains, we rest the weight on the table of names. Here's Angelo, steady as winter steel, never took more than a man could feel. Here's Rosa the saint with a gambler's eye, saved 3 boys and refused the sky. Here's Vito who lied like a choir boy's hymn, sweet on the tongue with a knife in the rim. I bought him grace on a Sunday night, sold him the truth when he asked for light. And here's a blank where a friend should be, the ghost of a promise that outlived me. Some names I whisper so they don't wake pain, some I pronounce like a gentle rain. If legacy's a ledger nobody owns, we're all signatures on borrowed bones. The organ breathes softly like old remains. I turn a page at the table of names. Count to 4, keep shoulders square, let memory sit in the head of the chair. A king is a clerk when the night explains, all power kneels at the table of names. Raise a glass to the table of names, to brothers of light and sisters of flames, to the ones who ran and the ones who came, to the lost and the loyal who bled the same. If crowns are heavy and glory remains, we rest the weight on the table of names. A waitress turned widow writes notes in the margin, small clean letters like a private pardon. She circles a day when the docks went dark, when sirens learned a funeral's large. I fold a bill under her sorrow's plate, not to erase, just to mediate. A soldier I raised from a street with no father, left his rage here and grew up farther. He learned that thunder is easy to sell, but quiet keeps a city well. Another page, ink bleeds like wine, with loyalty tilted on a crooked line. I forgave once where twice would kill. I held the door when mercy stood still. No angels here, no perfect claims, just men tuned low at the table of names. Count to 4, give grief a chair, let brass sighs soft in the open air. If truth is heavy, don't shift the frame, hold steady now at the table of names. Raise a glass to the table of names, to brothers of light and sisters of flames, to the ones who ran and the ones who came, to the lost and the loyal who bled the same. If crowns are heavy and glory remains, we rest the weight on a table of names. Bring me the ink that outlasts rain, bring me the hands that ease the stain, bring me the night I should have stayed, bring me the bill I never paid, bring me the doors I closed too soon, bring me the favors I called a boon. Let the guitar bend like a vow that bends, let the organ count our better ends. If legacy's a candle that knows our shame, we hold the flame at the table of names. Ride slow, breathe through, say less, pay due. A trader returns as a father of 2, holds out a hand like a debt that grew. He asks for word, not a pardon's kiss. I give him roots where the edges miss, not mercy blind, not judgment wild. A safer street for a safer child. A widow widow brings roses for the men who fell. Says nothing, her silence rings the bell. The room takes note like a notary sky. Even the shadows forget to lie. I learned to bless without losing the blade, to ask of the storm what calmness paid. I signed 3 lines and refuse 1 war, approve 1 truce and forgive 1 score. The pen feels warm in a colder hand. Some laws you keep just because you can. Count to 4, let the pages rest. Lay your ear on the table's chest. If the past still beats and the present aims, we pause together at the table of names. Raise a glass to the table of names, to brothers of light and sisters of flames, to the ones who ran and the ones who came, to the lost and the loyal who bled the same. If crowns are heavy and glory maims, we rest the weight on a table of names.
The wind still hums through the broken blinds, a soft reminder of changing times. The glass half full, the fight half done. The war I waged, I finally won. The smoke don't cling, it drifts away, like all the debts I used to pay. In the dark, she smiles, she keeps the score, but the night don't hold me anymore. I chase the dawn with bloodshot eyes, trying to bury what truth implies. Each dream I lost, I call it fate. Each sin I loved, I dressed as great. I walk through storms, I beg for pain, just to feel alive again. Now the fire's out, the whiskey's poured, but the night don't owe me anymore. The jukebox hums a tired refrain, a song I played to drown the pain. The barmaid nods, she knows my face. She's seen regret in every case. The stool still creaks beneath my weight, a ghost of pride, a twist of fate. But the chair don't judge, the floor don't mourn, and the night don't owe me anymore. Ain't no preacher left to save my kind, just the echo of peace I find. You can fight the dark, but it never dies. It just waits beneath your sighs. The blues don't cure, it just forgives. For every fool who still relives. I took my last, I closed that door. The night don't own me anymore. So pour one for the man who found his peace when the noise fell down and the doubt ceased. He laughs low, calm to the core. Yeah, the night don't owe him anymore. It hums like mercy, soft and slow, a quiet truth he's come to know. He ain't seeking fight or war, 'cause the night don't know him anymore. Her photo's cracked but still looks kind. The love's long gone but not declined. I talk to her like she's still near, tell her what I couldn't clear. Her smile don't fade, it just forgives. A shade that knows how silence lives. I used to bleed for what she wore. Now the night don't owe me anymore.
I learned that loss ain't always pain. Sometimes it's just the end of rain. The sun still sets, the soul still mends. You learn that peace don't mean it ends. I burned my guilt, I kept the scar, a map to show me who we are. And though I've sinned, my spirit soar. The night don't owe me anymore. The man in the mirror don't talk tonight. He just nods once under pale light. He don't accuse, he don't forgive. He just shows the way I live. He says, boy, the fight's been long, but every wrong wrote you a song. And I smile back the same as before, 'cause the night don't owe me anymore. My heart don't race like it used to do. It beats slow, quiet, clean and true. The blues still play, but soft refined, like a scar that learned to stay behind. I hum along, no pain, no score, just rhythm born from what I swore. The ghost still knocks, I don't implore. The night don't owe me anymore. Pour one for the man who walked away from every ghost that begged to stay. He hums low like paint's no more. Yeah, the night don't owe him anymore. It breathes like truth through open air. No guilt, no pride, just being there. I fade, I smile, I restore. The night don't owe me anymore. So pour one for the quiet kind, who left their sorrow far behind. For the men who learn what hearts are for. Yeah, the night don't owe them anymore. No crying, no fleeing, no lore, just stillness one metaphor. But when I faint, I'm sure the night don't owe me anymore. I see the fire fall in that flame. I see men die but still attain. The seal of fate be peace with lane. They'll start a fume after rain. And I forget. D minor dawn on a window pane. Kettle speaks low like a patient vein. And dust writes mercy where morning grew. I touch the sill to light the brew and breathe it in like something new. When all that's left of me is quiet, all that remains is true. I kept a ledger etched in bone. Names like rivers, debts like stone. I weighed my days on iron scales, told the night my storm-born tales, but metal rusts and thunder tires. Water beats the tallest spires. Words are left behind when the brag is through. A chair, a lamp, a faithful screw, a hinge that sings the house to you. Not much to crown, just much to do. I learn to bless the small of you. When I'm done with proving, all that remains is true. Count to 4 with the ribs, not pride. Let breath be the long, clear guide. If memory wants a brighter dew, pour it tea and let it cool. The truth is patient, simple blue. When all that remains is true, no crown, no stage, no debt to sue. Just bread and light and work you do. A name that fits, a soul that grew. The thunder folds, the day comes through. I set my hands to honest use. I am the quiet proof I knew. When all that remains is true. I hung the suit that wore my fear, watched the velvet disappear. Silk can't hold a bending heart, gold can't keep a home from part. I traded heat for humble flame, lost some glory, found a name. I fixed the gate, I fixed my pace, I left a seat at every place. The letters I never found the time arrived in chores and cleaner lines. A widow's smile the way grief does, half a salt and half a trust. The street said thanks, the hinges too, in oil metal, truth came through. Breathe on forward, let strings lean low. Let piano leave space where meanings grow. If pride returns to argue blue, point to the door that swings like new. When all that remains is true, no crown, no stage, no debt to sue. Just bread and light and work you do. A name that fits, a soul that grew. The thunder folds, the day comes through. I set my hands to honest use. I am the quiet proof I knew. When all that remains is true. I kept a drawer of unmailed lines, apologies stitched to winter vines. Some I sent, the rest I wore inside the coat that learned me more. The mirror edits what shame would sell, leaves the face that fits me well. Not a savior, not a saint, just a man who learned restraint. I count the rooms that made me new, the sink, the porch, the wooden pew of any chair that held me through. Forgiveness built in grain and glue, no witness needed, nothing due. I breathe, I live and call it true. Hold that fort till the heart stands sure. Let quiet be strong and good be pure. If thunder begs for one more cue, smile once kindly, you're almost through. When all that remains is true, no crown, no stage, no debt to sue. Just bread and light and work you do. A name that fits, a soul that grew. The thunder folds, the day comes through. I set my hands to honest use. I am the quiet proof I knew. When all that remains is true. Bring me the lock marks are forced for show. I'll lower them now and let them go. Bring me the names I held too tight. I'll speak them soft and make them right. Bring me the miles I sprinted thin. I'll walk them back with broader skin. Let's slide guitar band once then rest. Let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory wants a neon view, feed it supper salt and two. If power asks what it should do, make room at tables, keep love true. Say less, stand plain, count to 4, remain. A child chalks planets on the walk, orbits held by patient talk. She names the small one second try, gives it time to learn the sky. Her mother laughs, the light agrees, folds a ribbon on the trees. Across the lane a neighbor calls, fences holding thanks to all. I wave and carry bread inside, let ordinary be my guide. The room receives my working shoes, floorboards hum their honest news. The house exhales a humble cue. When life is this, the world is true. Count to 4 with a longer trust. Let brass breathe warm above the dust. If history asks what's due from you, answer chairs in time. And true, well, all remains is true. No crown, no stage, no debt to sue. Just bread and light and work you do. A name that fits a soul that grew. The thunder falls, the day comes through. I set my hands to hallway breeze like a cathedral on. Frames on the wall where the old songs hung. Carpet remembers every careful shoe. Piano at the far end, holding something true. One chair waits where the moonlight falls, like a verdict that forgives these walls. I walk without hurry, counting it all. Every quiet of thunder I refuse to call. I kept a kingdom with a borrowed hush, turned storms to wages and rage to brush. Names like lanterns, some bright, some thin. Mercy sewn under a suit made of sin. I learned the cost of an honest delay, how to buy a dawn from a ruin of day. The city grew gentler when the noise grew small. Now it's just me in the chair in the hall. I don't need guards for the breath I keep. Truth walks beside me like a child in sleep. The portraits lean close as if to recall how a man can be crowned without raising the wall. Count to 4 while the echoes learn. Let the old brass soften and the strings return. If power asks what it's for at all, say to set down the weight when the night grows tall. Here's the chair at the end of the hall, wood like a witness, back like a call. I sit with the quiet I taught to stand. Lay down the crown in an open hand. No trumpets needed, no banners to fall. I earn my rest in the chair at the end of the hall. The floorboards confess where the years walk slow, where boys became men and learned how to know. A glass on the table holds yesterday's rain. I raise it to absences that lessened our pain. The velvet trigger,
the silent room, the table of names, the whiskey gloom, all of them stitched in a single line, thread of restraint through a darker design. If glory is heat that forgets to heal, let legacy be the cool of steel. I don't need statues to make me tall, I measure my height by who didn't fall. Breathe through the hinge as the door unlearns, let the lamp write gold on the lessons that burn. If peace is a tax that the restless pay, I've paid it nightly in a measured way. Here's the chair at the end of the hall, wood like a witness, back like a call. I sit with the quiet I taught to stand, lay down the crown in an open hand. No trumpets needed, no banners to fall. I earn my rest in a chair at the end of the hall. She steps from the shadow with smoke in her hair, a sermon of patience, a long steady stare. Says, tell me what kings keep under the skin. I say, a ledger of moments they didn't give in, the mercy they chose when the mass said no, a door they unlocked so a boy could grow, the letter they wrote and never sent, the anger they folded and let relent. She nods like a clock that forgives the time, writes my answer in D minor rhyme. Then sits, she whispers, let silence enthrall, wear nothing but truth in that chair at the hall. Count to 4 till the breath turns round, let the bass place roots in the ground. If love is a law with a gentler drawl, it's signed in the chair at the end of the hall. Here's a chair at the end of the hall, wood like a witness, back like a call. I sit with the quiet I taught to stand, lay down the crown in an open hand. No trumpets needed, no banners to fall. I earn my rest in the chair at the end of the hall. Bring me the night, I return still on. Teach my hands the grace of disarm. Bring me the names I carry like stone. Let the stone feel lighter, finally alone. Bring me the rose I refuse to flood. Let justice be water, not blood. Bring me the throne made only of choice, where law is a breath and mercy a voice. If endings are crowns that quietly fall, place it in wood, the chair at the end of the hall. No witness, no noise, only the hum of a measured poise. Count to 4, close the door. The soldier's coat hangs where the light turns thin, sleeves like prayers for the places he's been. I promised his mother I'd guard his name, kept it unbroken through profit and blame. A rival's grin, love's faint in a frame, softened by time, renamed by the same. I learned that victory, smaller and sure, outlives a triumph that dies immature. So I chose the fix over televised fire, built quiet ladders from honest wire. If someone asks where the empire is drawn, point at the windows that survive the dawn. Let the strings bow low, then rise, let the brass breathe truth without disguise. If fate takes notes while the footsteps fall, it writes them here at the end of the hall. Here's the chair at the end of the hall, wood like a witness, back like a call. I sit with the quiet I taught to stand, lay down the crown in an open hand. No trumpets needed, no banners to fall. I earn my rest in the chair at the end of the hall.
hangs on the old spray so fred. Piano old stain that would follow me, man. Strings me then till the light goes wide. Rest rising with a gentler draw.
Counter's cold, cup gone thin. Steam left early, won't come again. Neon blinks like a tide in. Door sighs once then, forgives the wind. Sun edges in with a hesitant nod. I drink with ghosts and quiet gods. I used to wake with a siren's plan, chasing a storm like a younger man. Now I count spoons in a vacant inn, silver that learned how to listen within. The clock clicks minutes off the wall, a gentle thief who knows it all. I learned to hold what doesn't bruise, to keep one truth and let others lose. The street outside ties up its hair, morning's braid on an honest stare. I stir the cup though the warmth is gone, habit that believes the dawn. Count to four with the ribs, not pride. Let breath decide what words won't ride. If thunder asks for a second shot, tell it not today, I'm better soft. Cold coffee and quiet gods, that's breakfast for the scarred and odd. No choir needed, no king's facade, just a chair that holds my flawed. I lift the cup to the day I've got, to every fire I chose not. There's a photo curled on the bulletin cork, a younger grin with a rusted fork. He thought the world was a door to force. I taught him hinges in the patient course. I used to love like a smuggled flame, too bright to hold, too quick to name. Now love is water in a steady jar, tastes like distance, drinks like star. A sparrow pecks at the window's doubt, small brave heart on a crosstown route. It looks like truth without applause, a perfect rule with kinda laws. Breathe on forward till the bass says stay, let the snare brush sweep away. If yesterday knocks with its louder frauds, serve it cold coffee and quiet gods. Cold coffee and quiet gods. I eat my peace in smaller odds. Where thunder begged, I'm counting sod seeds. I planted flaws and claws. I bless the hours the city trods, and sip with ghosts and quiet gods. The waitress writes mercy on a receipt line, be well in ink like a slow design. She says my name like she stores the sound, a coin that comes back double round. I tip her truth, not pity's grin, for the night she's paid in noise and sin. We share a nod that could feed a town, a humble yes that sets cups down. Outside a bus exhales its dread, men bored softer than what they said. I used to measure by who knelt fast, now I measure by who lets past. Count to four, let the piano wait, one note hanging like a held out gate. If pride returns with a metal rod, bend it back with quiet gods. Cold coffee and quiet gods, sermon and steam that memory lost. No miracle here, no stacked applause, just decent breath and gentler claws. If grace is real, it minds the sods where roots drink deep with quiet gods. Bring me the letters I never sent,
Bring me the vows I kept in rent. Bring me the locks that learned my hand. Bring me the miles that didn't demand. Let the guitar bend where courage heals. Let the bass speak truths the mouth conceals. If peace is priced in smaller ways, I'll pay in pauses and honest days. Say less, mean more. Hold breath, count 4. A man in a booth folds yesterday's news, wrings out the ink for softer views. He nods at me like a weathered oath, with strangers sworn to the same slow growth. 2 kids trade marbles near the door, big as planets on a cleaner floor. They share, they argue, then split the sky. Tiny treaties that learn how to try. I taste the bitter that won't turn sweet, a lesson poured where grief and meat. Cold coffee's honest, it doesn't pretend. It stays what it is till the very end. Breathe on 4, let the window glow. Let morning shine where the thin lights go. If rage requests its crimson rods, I answer flat, I'm with the gods. Cold coffee and quiet gods, I lay my wars in uncut sods. No crown to polish, no iron prods, just steady hands and softer odds. If legacy asks for polished nods, I'll point to steam and quiet gods. There's a church across from the grocery store, spills hymns and coupons under the door. A mother counts change with a prayer's brave math, chooses milk and keeps her path. I've bought 1,000 thundercrats, but mercy taught me better maps. Now when a line divides my mind, I draw a bridge and leave it kind. The ghosts that used to own my lungs hum a lower, humbler tongue. They're not gone, we've made a truce. They watch me choose what I refuse. Hold that 4 till the heart beats clean. Let strings silo like evergreen. If the night returns with brass applauds, I pour it down for quiet gods. Cold coffee and quiet God, breakfast with the honest squads. I toast to every softer clause, to measured winds and better frauds. If feathered waves and sinking sighs, terribly young and quiet gods. 3 hade gått en middagstur över bilstet om.
Got a hums of him on the eaves. Window writes river, dawn the leaves. Roof keeps time with a fingertip drum. Lightning signs quiet, thunder stays numb. Key in the lock like a whispered refrain. Welcome home to a house made of rain. I didn't build this place out of brick or bone. Didn't stack proof just to call it my own. I gathered what fell from a restless sky, the salt of losses, the tears I denied. I learned the angles water prefers, how grief turns gentle when nobody stirs. I framed the rooms with slowed down breath, mortared the corners with patience and rest. No nails of pride, no doors that shout, just hinges of mercy that open out. I swept the noise from yesterday's veins and
laid these floors with a hush that remains. Count to 4 where the rafters bend. Let the drip find rhythm and call it a friend. If memory knocks with a suitcase of blame, show it the sink, let the rainfall explain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in the hush of a house made of rain. No fire to prove, no crowd to entertain, just me and the hymn of a house made of rain. Kitchen light flickers like a faithful nurse, measuring pulse in the coffee's verse. The kettle exhales what the night held tight, lets old names soften and learn to be light. I shelved the thunder beside the door, labeled it only if peace asks for more. My coat hangs wet with an honest past, it drips into buckets I empty at last. There's a chair that forgives the weight I bring, a towel that crowns me with nothing like king. This roof doesn't keep the storms away, it teaches me how to stay. Breathe on 4 till the bass says stay. Let the snare brush puddles into play. If pride arrives with a loud acclaim, turn down the lamp, let the rain know your name. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in the hush of a house made of rain. I bless what broke and what remained, built in a room in a house made of rain. Bedroom window holds a silver sheet, city's heartbeat softened and sweet. I count the breaths I used to spend on doors that jammed and wars to defend. But water rewrites the story I kept, turns razors to rivers where swords once slept. It polishes shame like a blackened toy till face and purpose rejoin. I keep a ledger for gentler dues, debits of anger, credits of truce. Balance returns like an evening train, arriving on tracks made of rain. Hold your count, let the strings lean low, let piano drip notes you already know. If guilt demands an iron chain, rinse it to rust in the mouth of rain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in the hush of a house made of rain. No witness needed, no royal domain, just breathing bread in a house made of rain. Bring me the words I spoke too fast, I'll soak them soft till the edges pass. Bring me the locks I forced for proof, rain will repair the honest roof. Bring me the letters I never sent, we'll float them down the basement vent. Let the guitar bend like a bowed down spine, let trumpet glow like a street lamp sign. If mercy is water and I'm the clay, shape me slower, wash me away. Say less, hold true, count 4, come through. Hallway mirror fogs with a second chance, finger draws circles where I used to glance. The man in the glass looks older, sure, but kind in the lines where storms matured. I thank the leaks that taught me pails, the temporary roofs that became my tales. I learned that shelter isn't dry, it's where your worry comes to lie. Where grief is a guest with a decent bed, and blame is a coat you learn to shed. Where love is a mop, not a closing door, cleaning the footprint face you adore. 4 beats soft like a cotton hymn. Let the past get quiet at the brim. If rage returns to stake its claim, it leaves in silence, washed by rain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in a hush of a house made of rain. I mend, I breathe, I lose the strain, and sleep like thunder after rain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in a hush of a house made of rain. I mend, I breathe, I lose the strain, and sleep like thunder after rain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home. Morning sits warm on a faithful chair. Piano breath rides easy, yeah. Cup in my hand, a scar on the rim. I toast the burdens that taught me to swim. Not every weight was an enemy. I used to curse the stone I hauled, swore at the sky like the blame it called, held my jaw like a rusted clamp, burned my name into every lamp. Then one long winter showed me slow how steady shoulders make rivers grow. I learned to breathe beneath the load, count my steps, repair the road. A boy with fury, a man with hands. I traded thunder for honest plan. The spine I earned from agony became the weight that loved me. Count to 4 with ribs, not a rage. Let breath uncrease the page. If yesterday begs for injury, say thank you, storm, you carried me. This is the way that loved me. It pressed me down to rise. It taught my knees the country, put daylight in my eyes. No crown could do what burden did. No speech could name this sea. I found a stronger mercy in the weight that loved me. A door once stuck where my temper lived. I pushed and kicked what a hinge forgives. Later I learned to drop of oil, the gentle truth that saves the soil. I held a friend through his midnight ache, let grief speak floods until it broke. We didn't dam it with clever talk, we kept the lamps and took the walk. Some weights are names you refuse to drop, a vow you keep at the quiet shop. Hold steady here, make bread, pour tea, let ordinary carry me. Breathe on 4, let strings lean low, let piano leave space where meanings grow. If pride returns like a debtor's plea, tell it kindness carried me. This is the way to love me. It pressed me down to rise. It taught my knees a country, put daylight in my eyes. No crown could do what burden did. No speech could name this sea. I found a stronger mercy in the weight that loved me. I wore a suit that cost me sleep, silk on the surface, the lining cheap. It taught me how a shine can lie, how fabric strains when rooms run dry. I hung it up beside my rage, watched both grow small with age. Now denim truth and linen calm hold me closer than any song. The bills I paid, the debts I owe, the promises I hauled like a road. They didn't drown, they discipled me. Cut keys to doors I couldn't see. Count to 4 till the heart stands sure. Let quiet be strong and good be pure. If memory has to set me free, say burden, tune the key. This is a way to love me. It pressed me down to rise. It taught my knees a country, put daylight in my eyes. No crown could do what burden did. No speech could name the sea. I found a stronger mercy in the weight they loved me. Bring me the stones I threw at night. I'll build a hearth that keeps us alive. Bring me the names I lifted wrong. I'll sing them slow inside this song. Bring me the locks I forced for show. I'll oil them now and let them go. Let slide guitar bend once then rest. Let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory wants a neon claim, feed it bread and call it plain. If power asks what love can be, a weight you share, not just a key. Say less, stand true. Count to 4, come through. I met a widow on Market Street, carried her bags through summer heat. She didn't cry, she didn't preach, just split the load in equal reach. We walked 3 blocks like a small parade, a chorus built of what hands laid. She said, I thought I'd break in two. I said, not now, look me into. I learned that love is not a blaze, it's cooler light on longer days. The heaviest kindness quietly becomes a weight that loves me. Hold that 4, let the rim click, pray. Let mercy sign the day. If thunder begs for history, let burdens ride the victory. This is the way to love me. It pressed me down to rise. It taught my knees the country, put daylight in my eyes. No crown could do what burden did. A quiet hill with the grass laid low. Telephone wires hum what the seasons know. Boot soles find the truth of ground. Piano of crickets, no other sound. I open my palms to to whatever's been, and feel the old clean weight of the wind. I used to fight weather with iron lungs, argue with thunder like it owed me songs, chased every rumor with a sharpened shoe, turned every whisper to something I do. But storms get bored of the boy who shouts, teach him the value of leaving things out. Now I stand smaller and hold more sky, let clouds pass through without asking why. The trees keep counsel with a patient sway, counting to 4 till the rage goes gray. A leaf rides past with a saint's small grin, and knows how to travel the weight of the wind. Breathe on 4, don't force the air, let your ribs be a rocking chair. If pride wants volume in velvet skin, answer softly, carry the wind. The weight of the wind is light but sure, a tender burden I can endure. It presses and blesses the bones I mend. I bow a little then rise again. No crown, no witness, no oath to spend. Just me and the old clean weight of the wind. I learned to repair what I used to replace, to sand down anger to a workable grace, file off edges that begged for blood, trade iron for patience and fire for wood. My name used to knock like a bailiff's fist, now it arrives like a morning mist. I keep my promises near the wrist, so when I reach they won't be missed. A widow sweeps a stoop 2 doors down, hums a hymn that wears no crown. We share a nod that could feed a town, a treaty of ordinary worn like a gown. The wind signs off with a cedar's pen, rides carry less on the skin of men. Count to 4 while the snare stays thin, let the heart say stay and the breath come in. If yesterday asked to be loud again, point to the hill, say listen, wind. The weight of the wind is light but sure, a tender burden I can endure. It straightens posture, slows the end, teaches a spine how not to bend. No throne, no trumpet, no staged amen. Just me and the old clean weight of the wind. There's a coat I wore through a furious age, lined with the clatter of a louder stage. I hang it now on a quieter hook, let fabric remember what rage once took. My hands smell faintly of oiled old keys, doors I can open without making pleas. Not every lock needs force to spin, some undo easy with the wind. I measure my strength by what I spare, by paths I leave for others to wear. If a bridge needs toll, I'll pay in peace, offer my silence by release. I'm learning to lose like a patient friend, to give the victory to the wind. Breathe on 4, let the drums stay low, let the strings lean in and let them go. If fear demands a harsher end, answer with breath, answer with wind. The weight of the wind is light but sure, a tender burden I can endure. It lifts my anger from under the skin, turns sharp to round, turns a loss to kin. No medals pinned, no debts to spin, just me and the old clean weight of the wind. Bring me the doors I slammed for proof, I'll hinge them soft beneath this roof. Bring me the names I said too fast. I'll speak them slow till the hardness pass. Bring me the miles I sprinted then. I'll walk them back in a steadier skin. Let guitar bend like a reading prayer. Let bass say home on the lower air. If courage is quiet, it sounds like this. A breath held true, a moment kissed. Say less. Stand still. Count to 4. Let it fill. A child chases kites near a chain link wall, string line laughing at the threat to fall. His mother holds a spool like a steady moon, teaches him drift is a kind of tune. I learn again what the young already know. You fly by giving the wind more rope, not by yanking heaven to your plan, but by walking honest as a man. A sparrow stencils a dotted hem, from wire to wire, neat and slim. It doesn't explain how the currents blend, just rides in trust on the weight of the wind. Hold that fort till the doubt grows kind. Let your pulse be a gentler mind. If thunder begs to be your friend, shake its hand, then keep the wind. Count to 4 with a longer trust. Let the drum be dust, the bronze be rust. If night requests one final grin, exhale slow and hand it the wind. The weight of the wind is light but sure, a tender burden I can endure. It clears the room where the loud ones grin, leaves only tools a good life needs. It leans me forward, keeps me thin, enough to fit where mercy is. No crown to straighten, no swords to tend, just me and the old clean weight of the wind. Write it in grass, wrap.
Bar's been closed an hour, but the ghosts keep time. Neon hums a half-remembered rhyme. I flip my lighter like a priest flips pages. Smoke writes songs that forgive old wages. Chair knows my weight, glass knows my hand. Night knows every name I used to stand. If I talk, it's to the ash and the ceiling stain. A quiet chord where I plead my pain. I wasn't born mean, I learned the math. What you keep, you count, what you love, you have. A boy with pockets full of dark yard wind, a mother who passed truth thinner than skin. My father spoke little, taught me the stare, how to hold a room like it borrows your air. First deal I cut, the knife was time. I paid in patience, collected in rhyme. I gave the city something it could owe, shelter in winter, a place to grow. But charity's a mirror that steals your face, and power is a choir you must conduct with grace. The ledger grew thicker than the church's book, every favor a hook, every handshake a look. I kept the streets humming like a bass line vow. Never raised a gun, didn't need it somehow. But mercy wears thin when the crowd needs proof. You start adding thunder to a weathered roof. Tonight I count shadows like I count sins. Every loss a lesson, every bruise a hymn. Breathe slow, let the guilt ride low. Turn the snare to snow. If a man must break, let him break in two, the one he was and the one he grew. This is my black cigar confession, smoke on my tongue, truth in compression. If I ever hurt what I meant to hold,
Some prayers burn better than they breathe. There was a girl with eyes like a courtroom dawn. She saw the man I wore and what was gone. Said, love's not leather, it doesn't fit tight. I said, love is weather, I forecast night. We danced on a floor made of unspent tears, stepped over rumors like discarded gears. I gave her my watch, she gave me her vow. Time kept moving, we never learned how. A brother in arms took the wrong left turn, chased the quick fire, forgot the slow burn. I told him you can live on a louder street, but quiet collects what loud can't keep. He didn't listen, I buried my pride, left a rose on a coat that couldn't decide. I pay my respects with a folded bill to the choir of names that won't sit still. And every night the trumpet asks for rain, I pour whiskey till the past goes sane. Still under the brass and the bar's dim mirror, I see a boy who wanted to be nearer. Breathe slow, let the truth unspool, turn the mirror cruel. If a king must kneel, let him kneel to time. If forgives in prose, condemns in rhyme. This is my black cigar confession, smoke on my tongue, truth in compression. If I ever chose war over reach, no, I learned the cost, I preach. I don't ask heaven for intercession, I sign my name to my transgression. Light the night, let the ashes teach. Some prayers burn better than they breathe. The city thinks I sleep with a crown on, but crowns are chairs you sit on alone. I own nothing that can't leave by dawn. Even loyalty walks home on its own. I've forgiven once where twice were killed. I've held my fire the way saints hold will. I've dressed my anger in a dark silk coat, then left it in check room without the note. Man, call me boss like the word is safe. They don't see the ledger under my faith. Every deal is a door that takes your name. You leave lighter, but you're never the same. I bought quiet at a price too steep to tuck the city's heart in sleep. On Sundays I pay the brass to play slow, let the horns confess what I won't show. If God is counting, He counts the rest. The measure's where I hid my test. Breathe slow, let the past sit down. Take off your borrowed crown. If a sin must speak, let it speak in tune. A D minor hymn to a ballroom moon. This is my black cigar confession, smoke on my tongue, truth in compression. If I ever turn kindness, then no, I thickened it later under skin. I don't ask heaven for intercession, I sign my name to my transgression. Light the night, let the ashes teach. Some prayers burn better than they preach. Yeah, this is my black cigar confession, smoke on my tongue, truth in compression. If I ever broke what I swore to keep, you know I lay awake while the city sleep. I won't ask heaven for intercession, I sign my name to my transgression. Light the night, let the ashes teach. Some prayers burn better than they preach. And when dawn asks who I've been, I'll answer, the man who learned to begin. Light a shed, night exhale, rain walks home along the rails. I leave the key where the bar will, till the motor barn will close. The car was a home, but it ain't been nine. A sloth thing my word, city gown goes, sleep takes possession. I leave with bow and a clean expression.
Clean, the whiskey dry. The dawn broke soft across the sky. I swore I'd bury every sin, but the devil just smiled and walked back in. His boots made sound on my quiet floor, each echo louder than before. And the night she smirked with a knowing grin. The devil walked back in. He came with charm, with velvet tone. Said you look calm, but you're alone. I laughed and said those days are gone. He poured a drink, said you're not done. His shadow danced, the glass leaned near, whispering truths I used to hear. And though I prayed, I let him in. The devil walked back in. The bottle sang that old refrain, each drop a memory, each taste the same. The fire rose like it never left, a sweeter wound I call my theft. He said peace is dull, but pain's divine. Let's bleed a bit between the lines. And I fooled with tired grin, said hell pour two, let's begin. No preacher warns of comfort snare, the kind of sin that feels like air. You think you're clean, you think you won, then one small whisper and it's done. The blues don't end, they just pretend to fade a while, then come again. And I smile back without chagrin. The devil walked back in. So pour one for the man who tried to heal, who found his calm and lost the deal. He laughed slow, caught in the spin. Yeah, the devil walked back in. It hums like love, it breathes like sin, a dance too sweet to not begin. He ain't seeking peace within, 'cause the devil walked back in. We made a deal, no words, no hands, just silence where temptation stands. He said you're tired, but not done yet. You missed the burn, you missed the sweat. I nodded once, like an old friend's game. He knew my face, he knew my name. The light dimmed slow, the air turned thin, when the devil walked back in. Streams cried out beneath my hand, like a preacher lost without command. Each chord cut deep, each bend confessed, each note a scar I still possessed. He said, play me one for the sins you keep, the
sleep, and I obey with a crooked grin when the devil walked back in. The man in the mirror raised his glass, said you knew he'd come, it always lasts. He don't shout, he don't condemn, he just says you're still one of them. I chuckled low, said guess I am a sinner bound by his own hand. And in the smoke beneath my skin, I felt the devil walk back in. The bar lights hum, the silence breaks, the past arrives with all its aches. The taste of guilt, still bittersweet, a rhythm my heart won't delete. He said, boy, the blues ain't gone, it's you. It just sleeps until you call it through. I smile soft and raise my gin to the devil walking in. Pour one for the man who can't resist, who finds his heaven in the twist. He hums low, gives in again. Yeah, the devil walked back in. Raise your glass to the worn and wild, to every lost, corrupted child. No redemption, no amen. The devil walked back in. The night hums deep, the fire grows thin. Old temptation feels like kin. Each snow drips warm with old desire. The blues feed slow on that fire. The smoke curls tight, it feels like skin. I close my eyes and breathe him in. He grins through flame and violent. The devil walked back in. I ain't holy, I ain't pure, but I know what I can endure. Peace is quiet, but silence burns, and every sinner still returns. He shakes my hand, says you'll be fine. This time you'll own what's truly mine. And I
Evening irons, gold on the road's thin seam. Wind falls quiet like a bedtime dream. Gravel counts soft under shoes that know. Piano of birds playing low, 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 low. I don't hurry, there's nothing to flee. The last light falls in step with me. I learned my name in stranger tongues, paid old debts with quieter lungs, turned down parades that stain the street, chose work that leaves a kind of heat. I bargained once with the thunder's feet, now I tip the dust with simplicity. The city behind me lowers its hands, lets go the noise, keeps on its plans. I used to brand my mercy loud, now it walks through an ordinary crowd. No witnesses, no stage to see, just breathe in the last light next to me. Count to 4 with the ribs, not pride. Let the breath be the long, clean guide. If memory calls for a brighter plea, answer with footsteps
small and free. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no master hold my face. I'm done without approving. I keep what I can be. Dusk comes low and kindly. The last light walks with me. Fences leaning like elderly friends, trading the weather, predicting ends. A child chalks planets on the lane, spins a ring around her name. Her mother lifts a grocery bag. I catch the strap before it sags. No sermon there, no debts to weigh, just hip and hand and human day. Across the field a dog recalls a whistle stitched in evening calls. He trots back home uncomplicated, proof that peace can be translated. I thank the years for letting me see how small acts widen what will be. Breathe on forward while the slide notes lean. Let the bass say home, soft and clean. If pride returns with a megaphone plea, turn the volume down to C. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no master hold my face. I'm done without approving. I keep what I can be. Dusk comes low and kindly. The last light walks with me. There's a bridge of iron over a patient stream, a mirror where I loan my dream. I drop 2 coins, one for grief, one for relief. The taught belief circles wide and then forget. Forgiveness keeps the water wet. I read my face the way we should, enough to know not to be understood. I am my work, the doors I oil, the weeds I pull from common soil. If legacy asks for a brighter key, I hand it hinges that swing quietly. Count to 4, let the strings inhale, let the trumpet glow like a faithful trail. If yesterday begs for authority, offer a chair, then let it be. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no master hold my face. I'm done without approving. I keep what I can be. Dusk comes low and kindly. The last light walks with me. Bring me the locks I forced for show. I'll oil them now and let them go. Bring me the names I said too hard. I'll speak them soft in a clean backyard. Bring me the steps I marched in vain. I'll walk them home in evening rain. Let's slide guitar band once and rest. Let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory asks for a neon flame, point it to sucker, bread and name. Say less, stand plain. Count to 4, remain. Mailbox yawns like a sleepy friend, holds a bill, a note, and the working end. The note says thanks in a sprawling hand for fixing a hinge they couldn't stand. I smile the way a quiet man smiles, folds the paper in quarter miles. There's wealth in chores that no one sees, floors that welcome, roofs that ease. I sweep the walk of a neighbor's place, leave my name off leave only space. I'll learn to earn with gentler tools, humble metals, softer rules, the last light nods in warm decree. You've done enough, come home with me. Breathe on four, let the lamppost bloom, let evening tidy the living room. If rumor looks for the old marquee, point it to dishes, tea and free. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no master hold my face. I'm done with louder proving, I keep what I can be. Dusk comes low and kindly, our stair walks with show. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no master hold my face. I'm done with Dawn loosens the knot on the eastern seam. Mist folds slow like a patient dream. Gravel breathes under honest shoes, water speaks in quiet news. I touch the rail of a weathered shore. The river moves, but it don't rush anymore. I used to chase what the thunder sold, trade young fire for borrowed gold. Ran with a clock clenched in my jaw, bit down on seconds till I cracked the law. Every bridge was a dare to run, every street a loaded gun. Now I count by softer signs, bird prints stitched in muddy lines, steam from a mug that forgives the cold, stories that learn to age, not fold. I wear a coat with fewer wars, let wind edit what time ignores. Count to four with the ribs, not pride, let the breath be the calmer guide. If yesterday bangs like a locked old door, let water answer, not anymore. The river doesn't rush anymore, it carries, it keeps, it sets ashore. It turns sharp stones to a kind of foam, teaches a spine how to weather a storm. I lift my hands and I ask no more, I walk beside what I begged before. Call it mercy, call it Lord. The river doesn't rush anymore. I've seen men drown in a thimble of need, argue with blessings, sprint past the seed. I've watched loud hearts hire a crowd to clap for the breaking they wore like a shroud. I've bargained with rage and I've rented regret, paid too much for a faster bed. But patience writes smaller checks that clear at dawn without side effects. A heron stands like a seasoned judge, feeding rumor, mine won't budge. He blinks the noise off both his eyes, signs the minutes and lets them rise. Breathe on four, let the snare stay faint, leave the drum for the softer saint. If pride comes limping to settle a score, let the river say, not anymore. The river doesn't rush anymore, it carries, it keeps, it sets ashore. It rounds the edges, the city walls, returns the name to a truer chord. I give my hurry to the water's floor. It dissolves like salt I can't restore. Call it wisdom earned in pores. The river doesn't rush anymore. There's a road that taught me how to bow without losing bow, to stand like fence posts hold a field, firm below and warm to yield. I used to think that peace was weak, till silence answered when I'd speak, till mercy held my shaking hand, till rest rewrote my business plan. Now when a rumor lifts its blade, I change the light, not the parade. The younger me would press and roar. The older me opens one more door. Bring me the miles I tried to sprint, the letters I sealed but never sent. Bring me the locks I broke for show. I'll lower the hinges and learn them slow. Let the guitar bend like willow bone. Let the bass say stay, be stone. If time is water and I'm the shore, let love erode what hurt was for. Say less, hold more, count to 4, let it pour. A kid throws sticks where the eddies spin, watches each choice decide its end. Some sink quick, some turn and glide, some find the far bank's patient side. His mother laughs at a stubborn twig, says even the small learn how to dig. I taste a memory on my tongue, the first time failure kept me young. When I stop forcing every bend, let a smaller victory be my friend. When later wasn't loss or chore, just ripples moving toward a shore. Count to 4 till the fear grows bored. Let quiet be the last strong word. If lightning brags like it owns the floor, I show it water, not anymore. The river doesn't rush anymore. It carries, it keeps, it sets ashore. It hums the names we used to score, turns sharp to round from push to pour. I give the wheel what water swore, to mold, to live a score. Not any Labulido. The river doesn't rush anymore. Sappho's odor, other can fulfill. Wind says maybe nevermore. A town's the tower with a melon shore, to carry stow, to let it know.
The room wears gold like a second skin. The bass walks slow, invites me in. A hush like velvet, heavy dense. I button my calm and sharpen sense. The light's still low, the air runs thin. My shadow trims the noise within. And the night, she grins, she loves this science, how power lives in brass and silence.
Polished shoes on an oaken floor, a measured step through a mirror door. The band leans back to read my pace. I set the tone with breathing space. No need to claim, no need to plead. I let the stillness intercede. A single nod, a quiet license. I stitch the room with brass and silence.
A cufflink blinks like a comet's tail. My gaze moves slow, my voice stays pale. The snare suggests, the kick agrees. The organ hums like trusted keys. I pour a truth I never say. Let gravity conduct the sway. Where others shout their weak reliance, I write my name in brass and silence. In thunder's noise, you forge it quiet, far from boys. You trade the spark for banked up coal. You tame the hand and crown the soul. When tempers beg for violence, I answer them with brass and silence. Let lesser storms announce their science. I raise a toast to brass and silence. So pour one for the kings who never shout, whose steady pulse dissolves the doubt. He laughs low, ignores the sirens. He rules by brass and honored silence. It hums like steel, it shines like wine. A sovereign glow without a sign. I ain't begging fate for guidance. I wear my crown in brass and silence. Yeah. She enters with a comet's grace. A test of poise across her face. I tilt the glass, I hold the frame. I let the rhythm take a name. No chase, no grin, no eager dance. Just orbit set by a tempered stance. She changes speed by my compliance. That's the art of brass and silence. I learned to fold the heat I feel like a linen smooth on tempered steel. To place each word like coins on scales. To let the hush outvote the tales. When pride arrives with gaudy giants, I greet it with my brass and silence. I never buy the cheap alliance. I trade in gold and quiet science. The man in the mirror tilts his head, says you talk less and speak instead. A measured breath can move a throne. A patient glance recarves a stone. No blade to wave, no stage defiance. Just empire built of brass and silence. He taps the glass, confirms the science. Hold your crown with brass and silence. Yeah. A murmur builds from jealous throats. A restless tide that swells and floats. The bass digs in, the snare grows tight. The room prepares to test my right. I raise my hand an inch at best. The noise folds back into its chest. The band resumes its calm alliance. Obedient to brass and silence. Pour one for the man who reads the tide, who slows the storm without a stride. He hums low, declines the violence. He bends the night with brass and silence. Raise your glass to iron grace. Two eyes that slow a crowded place. No roar, no shove, no malice. Just sovereign brass and silence. The lights throw coins on every wall. The Hammond sighs a chapel call. A single bend suspends the room. A pause becomes a perfume plume. I trace the air with quiet signs. A line of gold and silver silence. The groove drips warm, the noise relents. All debt is paid in confidence. Simply outgrew chaos game. I bank my fire in deeper jars. I steer by scars instead of stars. When tempers beg for my compliance, I answer true with brass and silence. A small refusal, clean and fine. A crown that needs no borderline. No choir sings the measured art. No trumpet crowns the brass and silence. Let louder men chase cheap appliance. We meant the night with brass and silence. Oh, yeah. So pour one for the siren few, whose quiet tells the world what's true. He laughs low, denies the sirens. He holds the dark with brass and silence. No required, no gilded fence, just breathe and balanced eloquence. And when I fade, recall my science. I wore my crown in brass and silence. Watch this toast and it's subtly gold. Your dreams were alive when cans roll cold. Tessie bread bun is dull tan on Plowers chalk on burial sand. But every empire built to last is grass from hedge and pearl's brass. So I close my eyes, just hiss the violence as I relate with brass and silence. Moon leans low on a crooked wire. My breath smells like smoke and tire. Another night with nothing to prove, just the echo of the man I used to move. The whiskey speaks where words can't live. A quiet sermon no priest could give. In the dark, she nods, she always forgives. I left a town that forgot my fate, chasing ghosts I could never replace. Dreams turned cold in the neon rain. Every step I took just spelled my name. She said, baby, love's a game of death, and I'm still paying what I can't forget. I light a match just to watch it fade, 'cause whiskey don't forget mistakes I made. The jukebox hums the same old lie. Promises burning while the years go by. A stranger nod says I know that pain. We toast the past and lose again. A shadow moves where a perfume stays. It's been 10 years but it smells the same. Every night I try to reset, but whiskey don't forget. No preacher waits, no choir sings, just bottles lined like wedding rings. You can pray or curse the flame, but it'll still spell out her name. Sin comes cheap, truth comes late. Heaven's locked, I missed that gate. And every sip's a cold duet, 'cause whiskey don't forget. So pour one for the man who lost his fight, still singing low through another night. He laughs soft at what he regrets, yeah, whiskey don't forget. It hums my sorrow in a golden tone, cuts through bone straight to the soul. I ain't begging peace, just to reset, but whiskey don't forget.
photo's torn, but her smile still stings like a chord that never stops to ring. I left her name carved on a ballroom door. She left her heart on my bedroom floor. The past don't sleep, it just waits in line with an open seat and a glass of wine. I try to heal, but the blues still bet that whiskey won't forget. The road arms low, the tires confess. Every mile a wound I don't address. I chase forgiveness down dead-end streets, but mercy don't speak to men like me. I see her face in motel glass, reflected pain that just won't pass. I smile faintly, try to reset, but whiskey don't forget. The man in the mirror grins too wide. He's tired of watching me run and hide. He says, boy, the truth is a debt unpaid, and whiskey's the price that never fades. The blues ain't cruel, it's just fair. It gives you pain, cause nothing else cares. You lose your soul, your last roulette. Still, whiskey don't forget. I used to play loud for a crowded room. Now I hum slow in the shadows tune. She said I'd drown in my own regret. Now I float on a sea I can't forget. The night don't judge, it just takes its due. Each drop a story I swore was true. The flame still burns my silhouette, and whiskey don't forget. Pour one more for the ones who tried to love too hard and still got denied. For the ghosts that dance when the lights reset. Yeah, whiskey don't forget. Raise that glass to the sinner's song, where right feels right and wrong feels strong. No crown, no pardon, no dignity, cause whiskey don't forget. I sold my peace for a steady flame. Signed the night beneath my name. The bar's near empty, but the sound still sways. A broken prayer to better days. Each note bleeds, each silence weighs. She's gone, but her ghost still plays. And in that hush, a cold regret whiskey won't forget. I ain't holy, I ain't free, but I still keep time in minor key. If hell had a stage, I'd play it blue, cause the devil drinks the same as you. My song's a scar I can't outplay. It follows me night and day. I drink the dreams not finished yet, cause whiskey don't forget. No choir hums, no dawn redeems, just a low hum of forgotten dreams. The truth don't fade, it just resets. Whiskey don't forget. It's mercy's twin with a bitter face, a cold hand, a warm embrace. I fade, I fall, I owe that debt. Whiskey don't forget. So pour one for the silent kind who left their peace but stayed behind. For every man the world misread, yeah, whiskey don't forget. No crown, no light, no silhouette, just the smoke of a no regret. And if I'm gone, remember yet, the whiskey don't forget. Joyful.
Rain keeps score on the blacked out glass. Street hums low like a wounded brass. Ice taps twice
in a heavy hand. Lighter blinks, tiny funeral band. The office smells of leather and rain, contract smoke and a patient pain. I tell the room, be honest or leave. It answers back with a silent sleep. The city fits inside a quiet cell. Decisions drown on the whiskey's lip. My name rides low in a neighborhood hymn. Good men nod, bad men swim. A ledger sleeps on the edge of dawn, open like a throat that won't stay on. I bought my peace with a steady gait, but war keeps keys to every gate. I keep a picture of the docks in frame, where boys learn patience and men learn blame. I carry mercy like a folded knife, meant to save breath, not take a life. Count to 4 and dim the roar, let the bass confess the floor. If pride walks in, make pride sit down. If grief gets loud, let grief wear a crown. This is where whiskey meets war, a quiet room, a loud score. I drain what's left of yesterday's men, then sign the fate of midnight again. No flags, no drums, no open door, just me, a glass, and the weight I swore. If peace is truth I can't ignore, I'll taste it here, where whiskey meets war. A soldier's coat hangs on the chair, rain made halo in the air. He said I did it like you said, took fear alive, left pride for dead. But even clean jobs muddy a soul, even right cuts take a toll. I told him walk, don't look behind, we pay the bill in a different kind. He left a silence on my desk, cigarette ended like a small protest. Window shook with a passing train, I felt the city hide its pain. The trumpet down the block cried thin, I poured the night and let it in. Hold your breath, the verdict moans, let the snare ride long bones. If rage is loud, make rage grow sore, teach it to whisper on the floor. This is where whiskey meets war, a quiet room, a loud score. I drain what's left of yesterday's men, then sign the fate of midnight again. No flags, no drums, no open door, just me, a glass, and the weight I swore. If peace is truth I can't ignore, I'll taste it here, where whiskey meets war. She came with rain folded in her sleeves, eyes like harbor lights on thieves. Tell me, she said, what glory buys when it leaves a bruise between your eyes. Set the glass down like a bell, said glory's a story the loud ones sell. I buy the quiet, I sell the calm, I pay with pieces of my palm. She touched the ledger, felt the blame, read the weight under every name. Could you have loved without the throne? Only if the night could stand alone. We shared a smoke like a borrowed hymn, watched the halo over brim. She didn't cry, she didn't plead, she named the cost and let it bleed. Count to 4, let thunder pass, watch
watch the glass, forgive the glass. If truth comes barefoot, lock the door, make it warm on the office floor. This is where whiskey meet war, a quiet room, a louder score. I drink what's left of yesterday's men, then sign the fate of midnight again. No flags, no drum, no open door, just me, a glass, and the weight I swore. If peace is truth I can't ignore, I'll taste it here, where whiskey meets war. Bring me the names I couldn't live, bring me the hours I called a gift, bring me the fists I taught to sleep, bring me the vows I couldn't keep. Let the bottle slide a sermon slow, let the rain translate what I won't show. If justice limps, I'll walk beside, if mercy shakes, I'll let it ride. I've turned my anger into steam, let it fade across the beam. I've paid for silence, coin by coin, built a church the tired join. No parade, no crimson door, just a pen that knows the score. Count to 4, sign once more, let the hush conduct the war. A phone blinks red like a wounded eye, news from streets that never lie. Two rivals drown in their own scheme, a third got wise to the family dream. I could flood the night with guns and proof, or fix the leak in the weathered roof. I choose the latter, trim the flame, change the game without the blame. Send the widows roses white, pay the priest to play more light. I work for fatherless hands, put the wolves on other lands, and
organ hums low like a hallway prayer, brass holds its breath in the chandelier. Snare taps one, an oath on the skin, a bright bass counts everywhere I've been. Men line up like shadows in a pew, hats in their hands like something they knew. Tonight we tithe in a different church, where loyalty pays and the faithful purse. They say allegiance is a velvet chain, looks like gold, tight like rain. You wear it proud till it bites your throat. You kiss the ring while you sign the note. The room knows names that the city won't speak, with strong men near to keep the weak. A look from me says clock's too slow, a lift of my glass says yes or no. I didn't climb shouting on a borrowed stair, I moved like smoke and made men care. I kept my rage folded out thin, saved it for days when the odds won't spin. But every covenant carries a fee, the part of you you can't set free. I ask for loyalty, nothing less, and pay it back in carefulness. Count to 4, keep the blade unseen, let the hush stay sharp and clean. If a promise has weight, let the bones agree. Every yes costs part of me. This is the price of obedience, gold on the wrist, ghost in the vents. You keep your word till your word keeps you. When the bill comes due, when the night turns blue, I bless my men with a steady hand, hold their fear like a wedding band. We don't buy thunder, we lease the sky, pay with silence and never ask why. The soldier steps forward, jaw tight, eyes like a bridge between wrong and right. Says, boss, I stood where you told me stand, held my breath, did not raise hands. But my brother fell when I spared a fool. Mercy was warm, the world was cruel. I answered slow, you did what's mine. Obedience first, revenge in line. Your grief is a ledger I sign tonight. You'll have your due when the time turns right. He nods like a bell that refuses to ring. We both swallow iron and call it a thing. I've learned that guidance is a narrow street, where every mile rubs faith on your feet. You carry the men or you let them drown. Either way, the weight is a crown. Count to 4 while the organ moans. Let the snare write truth on bones. If duty aches like a winter bloom, hold one breath for the silent room. This is the price of obedience. Gold on the wrist, ghosts in the vents. You keep your word till your word keeps you. When the bill comes due, when the night turns blue, I bless my men with a steady hand. Hold their fear like a wedding band. We don't buy thunder, we lease the sky. Pay with silence and never ask why. There's a scripture etched on the back room door. Take orders clean or don't take more. A choir of jackets hangs and waits, elbows polished by a patient face. She slips from the shadow with chapel light, smells like the truth in a perfect disguise. Says, tell me, king, what your crown can't hide. I say, the cost of the faith on my side. Every knot I give is a cut I keep. I send men walking and I lose my sleep. I trade my tenderness coin by coin. Make a rosary out of what I join. She touches my cuff like a chalice rim. Here's the hymn I won't let brim. Is power or mercy, she asks the throne. It is if the guilty walk home alone. Horn sighs low like a priest grown tired. Snare brushes ash from a night rewired. Count to 4, let the verdict land. Steel in the throat, silk in the hand. If love and duty must collide, let duty walk and love abide. This is the price of obedience. Gold on the wrist, ghosts in the vents. You keep your word till your word keeps you. When the bill comes due, when the night turns blue, I bless my men with a steady hand. Hold their fear like a wedding band. We don't buy thunder, we lease the sky. Pay with silence and never ask why. Bring me the vow that outlives fear. Bring me the hour I can't engineer. Bring me the name I couldn't save. I'll carve it soft on the night I gave. Bring me the rage I locked in oak. I'll let it breathe, but not to smoke. If justice walks with measured shoes, let fate remove the nails he used. And if my law must break my heart, spare the men, I'll pay the part. Kneel to the tempo, rise to the tune. Sins are heavier before the noon. Obey the line, but mind the cost. The faithful man is never lost. This is the price of obedience. Gold on the wrist, ghosts in the vents. You keep your word till your word keeps you. When the bill comes due, when the night turns blue, I bless my men with a steady hand. Hold their fear like a wedding band. We don't buy thunder, we lease the sky. Pay with silence and never ask why. Let's grow if I ever leave, man, stay true. Edge out on the bay to the dome blaze do. Where did embrace, where did them bowl? Like keep the just name my mo. Logan Ben's damn too long and wait. Words line just know the pins and blow. Snitches twin. Low light, low words, long shadow on the wall. Whiskey swims slow in the glass, like a moon that won't fall. Door creaks once, and silence takes a room. Power walks in quiet shoes and rearranges doom. I nod at the band, let the snare breathe deep. Let the bass count money while the city falls asleep. I don't beg and not for favor, I already own the town. You can hear it in the hush, the smoke holds the crown. Silk tie, gunmetal cufflinks, ash on the sleeve. Cards on the table and a trick of the week. Deal stitched in whispers sewn under the den. Every promise like a razor tucked under the skin. You talk fast, I talk less. Silence does the work while the others confess. Neon bleeds red through the blind stem veins. Outside rain writes my many son names. I keep the ledger like a rosary of sins. Click of the zipper where forgiveness begins. Slow guitar bends like a threat you don't see, and the room leans forward to breathe with me. I don't gamble what I can take by grace. A smile is a lockpick on an iron face. They bargain with fear, I bargain with time. The clock is a witness that belongs to my mind. I call my initials in the hours last born. When the saxophone weeps, I'm already home. Cold hands, warm heart, all this come due. Every oath is a blade, watch how it moves. If you can't hold steady when the city goes dark, you'll never learn to light a fire with a spark. I don't raise my voice to make thunder sound. I let the hush shake walls from the underground. In a room full of kings, I straighten my gown, and every crown remembers who taught it to bow. I don't chase the throne, I just sit one down. The room signs the papers when I look around. No saint, no sinner, just a promise I found. Power speaks in smoke, and the smoke holds a crown. I've seen men drown with a corn in their mouth, swallowed by the river they wanted to drown. Heard prayers get pawned for a bottle and a lie. Watched angels fold wings when the price got high. But me, I learned patience from a trigger that never had to pull. A lesson in restraint from a cup never full. The devil rents rooms on the 7th floor. I sell them quiet and I lock the door. There's a woman with eyes like a witness stand. She reads my past like a smudge on her hand. Says, baby, what breaks you makes the band. I kiss her pulse and I let time land. Street lights blink like a Morse code plea, but mercy's a ledger with limited seat. I don't forgive quick, I forgive once. Write it in ink where the paper won't flinch. If loyalty's a chain, I'm the link they trust. If betrayal's a wind, I'm the weight in the dust. Cold hands, warm heart, keep you breathing slow. Make the room come closer while you barely move. If you can't make silence do what you choose, you'll never teach thunder how to sing the blues on. I don't raise my voice to make thunder sound. I let the hush shake walls from the underground. In a room full of kings, I straighten my gown, and every crown remembers who taught it to bow. I don't chase the throne, I just sit one down. The room signs the papers when I look around. No saint, no sinner, just a promise I found. Power speaks
speaks in smoke, and the smoke holds a crown. Keys in a pocket, ghosts in a hall, names etched faint on the ledgers crawl. I own what I carry, and I carry very light, just a blade made of patience and a map of the night. Man with loud hands crave a riot's cheer. I buy the silence and I sell them fear. My enemies write letters with invisible ink. By morning they discover what I made them think. I never run, roads run to me. I never beg, doors beg to be free. The piano tells the truth in a minor prayer, while the trumpet signs a treaty with the air. I'm not looking for heaven in a sinner's town. I'm building cathedrals where the lights go down. I tie to the moment, not to the crowd. And the angels, if they listen, keep their heads bowed. Cold hands, warm heart, count to 4. Let the bass be a judge and the snare be the law. If the night is a jury and the dawn is a door, you leave with the verdict that you came here for. I don't raise my voice to make thunder sound. I let the hush shake walls from the underground. In a room full of kings, I straighten my gown, and every crown remembers who taught it to bow. I don't chase a throne, I just sit one down. The room signs the papers when I look around. No saint, no sinner, just a promise I found. Power speaks in smoke, and the smoke holds a crown. Shut, city exhales slow. Rain rubs a neon till the letters glow. I leave a tip for the night on a silver tray. Spend it on silence, I hear myself say. Band fades out, last note settles down. So out on my knees, I kiss you, the crown.